I do have some thoughts on them, like what they're going to do going forward and next steps for Boston. I talked about it on the Straight Facts podcast as well. We kind of talked about what their deficiencies are and what they might need to improve going forward. To me, it's about offense. I feel like that's the theme for Boston. Get better offensively. On the Straight Facts podcast, we talked a little bit about the point guard dynamic with Boston, the fact that they don't really have a true point guard, and they clearly decided that they were going to rock with their main players sharing ball handling roles and playmaking roles between Tatum, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown. We got into that a little bit on the Straight Facts podcast, just about the non-point guard factor for Boston. And I think that's a thing. I think that's one thing to think about. Boston could really use more shooting, more natural shooting. While Boston had different guys being sparks throughout the playoffs. Grant Williams was a spark for them at times. Peyton Pritchard was a spark for them at times. Derek White was a spark for them at times. Like they had guys that created sparks in different ways. Boston doesn't have, and not to say these kind of guys grow on trees and you can just get them from anywhere, but Boston doesn't have a Jordan Poole. Boston doesn't have Gary Payton II did things for Golden State off the bench that Grant Williams wasn't able to do for Boston off the bench. So with Boston, I feel like you're looking at offensively, yeah, maybe a true primary playmaker who can take that responsibility off of your best players, and maybe that does contribute to their turnover issues, right? And ball security and ball control. But I'm also just looking at shooting. Golden State didn't outshoot them every game by any means. In fact, Boston won the 3-point battle 11-9 in game 5. They still lost that game. So this series wasn't just all about shooting and 3-point shooting, but to me, it did come down to offensive stamina.